Hey guys, it's Jacqie Crafty. We are on week 8 of the She's Crafty mini paper pad class that she's holding. So I really like this sketch. It's very interesting. We are going to be working on that today. So I, instead of 3 photos, just have these 2, and I think I was trying to figure out where I was going to put them like this, but I need a circular element yet over here, and I might use a doily, honestly, because I think that might be kind of cute. Speaking of that, let me find my doilies. But they're bright white, so I might try to color it. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but I might try that. I don't know if this is too big. I mean, it's a big circle element that's on the page. Actually, might kind of look neat if the bright white is there. I think we'll leave it. So yeah, so we're going to add a doily and scrapbook these adorable little group selfie photos I took with my son and my niece. Yeah. And we'll do the strips and everything that they have in there. So yeah, let's just get started. So first thing, I gotta figure out what the heck I'm gonna do. Right? I gotta figure out what the heck I'm gonna use for my paper. Because there are some actually decent size pieces in this sketch. And so I need to maximize the bigger pieces I have in the 6x8 pad. So I'm thinking I want a little interest because my background is quite pale and quite almost like white cardstock. There's not a lot of interest, not a lot of color going on. You're going to end up not ever even seeing that beautiful scallop that's underneath, which kind of is a travesty, but it's fine. So I'm going to try, right now I'm just trying to splatter some dried marigold distressed ink on there. It's so pale, it's hard to see. So I'm like, okay, I need to do packaging technique. I need more of it to show up. And it's a pale color in general, but I just wanted something. So I did that, and then I think it's fossilized amber or wild honey, one of the two. I can't remember at the moment. Yeah, it's one of the two. I think it's fossilized amber though, because I wanted something more subtle. Oh no, that's wild honey for sure. Okay, and then I did some wild honey because I wanted it a little bit darker, but I still wanted it that yellow color. And then I decided to kind of make a little collage of a few of the stamps from the stamp set, just to put, once again, just to have some interest on the background, so it wasn't just pale nothing. Especially because, like I said, I'm covering up that beautiful scallop. But I really like this side. I like the other side too, but I really like this side for what I'm doing, if that makes sense. So I just made a little collage of like a stem with some flowers and leaves on it, and then I added 2 leaves kind of around, and I just stamped them in a few areas that I'm pretty sure will be peeking out. And it works out quite well. I cover one of them up almost completely, but the other 3 are, yeah, it works out pretty well. All right, so now I'm done with that, and now I need to start building my layers. Oh, and to decide, okay, so this looks very distressed because of the colors I use. So I'm like, all right, this is going to be all rich tones, oranges, golds, yellows, reds. Let's distress everything by inking all the edges. So I took my walnut stain, and I'm going to ink all around the whole page, and then I'm going to ink all the paper layers as well. And if I remember correct, do I ink the photos? I hope so. I think I did. But we're going to do that as well. So just trimming my first layers down. And I didn't have to check my phone as often. I seem to be having to do that a lot lately. Like my brain can't remember what I just did, which is just crazy. I don't know why. I must have other things on the brain that I can't just focus on that or something. trimming my photos a little bit. I can take a little bit off of them. And just because, these paper layers, I was noticing like they are not very big. So I didn't want the photo to cover up all the awesome layering that we're doing, especially on the upper left. So I mainly was trimming that one down, but yeah, we trimmed down the bottom one too, because also like I don't need the bottom one to overlap the top, because then to me then it makes the sketch really skewed, and it just doesn't, the spatial awareness of where the photos are, if that makes sense. It just gets screwed over my head, and then it seems too crowded, and then it doesn't really look like the sketch if things start melting together. Do you know what I mean? So like if I want it to look like the sketch, I need it to at least show spatial awareness similar to what the sketch shows. If that makes any sense. Does that make any sense? And that's in my brain. That's not necessarily like a rule, but that's in my brain. Like to make it work in my brain, that's what I gotta do. Okay, so now I'm figuring out what my other layers are gonna be, and I really like the dark wood grain. I'm a huge wood grain fan, and I really like the white wood grain. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna pull in this white wood grain, I've got wood grain on my background, I might as well pull in the dark wood grain. So we're gonna have 3 different wood grains, but to me then that's kind of a theme, wood grain. So it's like I have a hard time sometimes mixing metals unless it's purposeful. Like the point is to have all the metals on, or a mixture, a lot of it. Like, or same thing with wood grains. Like if I'm going to have wood grain, I want to have the same tone, but if I'm going to do it, do all of the different kinds. And as long as it's consistent, to me, then it looks okay. It doesn't look okay when, yeah, you can tell it's not consistent and it was like an oops, or I don't know. So that is what we're doing. We're cutting all the little banner pieces and just getting everything layered up. And then I'm going to just work kind of on one section at a time. I did the lower section already, kind of got that, or still am getting that all done. I'm like, okay, let's get all this done because I have this photo exactly the way I want it. It's backed. Getting that figured out. So we're going to get the whole lower area figured out first. And because it's bigger than what it should be in the sketch, so. And then, oh, I'm so sorry if you can hear my stomach growling. It's really early and I haven't eaten yet. And then I'm going to start working on this left side area up top, and then the right side area first, and then the left side, just because it's smaller and it doesn't require the photo. So it was just easier to do that. Trimming off the excess, and I really like the way these layers are looking and the color combos, and yeah, it just made me think of slightly warmer weather than what we're having right now, which is really nice. All right, and now I'm finally, oh yes, I figured, because it was bothering me and I needed to figure out before I moved on, I'm figuring out how to cover that gap up, because I didn't have enough, because I was using like scraps, and that whole 6x8 piece of paper that has the, that white wood grain, or the light colored wood grain on it, had like a design, so I couldn't use the whole 6x8 pad, so I only had little pieces, so I had to fill the gap and cheat a little bit, but it works. You would never know that there's a gap there. And I don't think the floral looks awkward, because I do tuck some other places as well. Now I'm getting the whole left-hand side done. Loving it. Where did I go? Oh, I should have cut that out. I finally, yeah, so I was trying to figure out what should I back this last photo in, because I was like, I have all these colors. That strip of that sunflower paper was not big enough. I'm like, I can't trim my photo down anymore, and it's the perfect size. And so I found a B-side of one of the 6x8 papers had these pumpkins, and you can't tell they're pumpkins. So it doesn't matter. So getting that all lined up, and because these pieces are not as long as they could be, or as long as they could be, I attach them all to the photo first, and that's something I like to do. If I know it's all gonna layer up, I attach it to the photo first, and then I put the whole like little kit and caboodle cluster of papers down. So now I'm gluing down some more of the doily, tucking some flowers in, adding the butterflies, and I'm going to use that cut apart card actually as my title. And it says, I believe, I love you more than pumpkin spice everything. Let me go grab the layout. Hold on. It says, you are my pumpkin spice everything. And I actually am a big pumpkin spice lover. It's not that season, but I would totally have it any time of the year, but definitely pumpkin spice season. It is a season, and I fully enjoy it, let me tell you. But yeah, just going through the sticker sheet and the ephemera and kind of tucking flowers, and then I grabbed some of the bees because they're really cute, and there's a bee on that card, so that's why I figured I could incorporate it, and grabbed the butterflies all I could find. I think I got all of the butterflies on and all the bees that are ephemera, and then as many of just the floral elements that were not just leaves, also tucked in. And then, oh yeah, I was just gluing down some edges. I popped that little card up on foam as well, so it stands out a little more. I'm going to look through the sticker sheet. I find just a couple flowers to tuck in. And then I'm going to find a couple little word strips. Put a couple up on top of that top photo, bushels of fun, cozy days of fall, and then I'm going to put a couple down below the bottom photo, joyfully and together time. Oh, and then you got to watch me struggle with that fabulous tab earlier too, that was on the side of the photo. But there you have it, you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time for the week 9 of the mini paper pad class. Bye.